More cars, more show. Ever since you left me, more diamonds, more gold, more motion, more. I went deaf on it. I went deaf on it. All I need is one night.
Gonna have to splash.
All I need is one night.
Good morning.
Yes, I fiesta. Drop top G.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, how you doing this Friday, the 24th day of July? It's definitely Leo season. Shout out to all the Leos making birthday today. How y'all doing? How you feeling? VI, Rock City, how we doing, man? Listen, so today, back on the show, we have none other than candidate for delegate to Congress, Delia Smith. She's here with me. Listen, and let me tell you guys, for those who can't see just quite as yet, we just did put the live up. But so those of you who can't see, she is looking extra bright and shiny. She looks very festive. She's in her cultural attire and her madras, nice and red, lipstick popping. Okay. So
good morning, Neka.
Good morning, my dear. How are you? Welcome back to Boti in the Morning. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's always really, really a pleasure to come and see you. You have such energy. You make me feel like I've had 2 cups of coffee in the morning just seeing you.
Yes, I appreciate that so much. So, it's all about, pouring that good VI energy. We're living in paradise.
Right.
So when you walk in here, I want you to feel the sun just like it's in the logo. I want you to feel the vibes, that cool breeze that comes through the palm trees, and hey, like a good, nice cup of bush tea, man. It makes you feel good from the inside and the outside.
And I have to give kudos to you for this amazingly decorated studio, okay?
Hi. Well, that's big role entirely. I definitely don't do my part to help, but the whole team, we don't work hard to make sure that our experience is one that not just we can enjoy, but you, our audience, our listeners, our guests, sponsors, everybody can come in and feel like they're a part of everything Virgin Islands.
You've definitely achieved your goal. Lighting is cool. I mean, I love the granite countertops. And, it's beautiful and bright in here, and I feel like I'm just in my home living room. So it brings a sense of comfort and relaxation. So it takes the edge off.
I love that. And people tend to get very nerve-wracking when on air. Speaking publicly is not something that you can take lightly all the time. And it doesn't come naturally for everybody, regardless of what role in life or what path you walk.
Exactly.
So I'm happy to hear you say that.
Oh, I gotta give Jack his jacket.
Hey, and the jacket don't fit. Oh yes. So talk to us because and apologies, we had a little technical difficulties with the camera, but we got it together, ladies and gentlemen. We want to make sure that we can share this experience with you right here on 101.3 Roe FM all the time. And it's Friday, so we probably having a little Freaky Friday episode right now. But happy to have you. Tell us, what are we talking about today? Because I see you campaigning, you're going hard. I'm seeing on the debates, I'm seeing the conversations, commentary, all kinds of things stirring. We're going to get into a little bit of all of it here today. But tell us, what do you want to talk about specifically today? First of all, introduce yourself fully to our listeners for those who may be hearing you for the first time.
Okay.
And then tell us what we're going to be talking about today.
Again, it's always such a privilege and honor to be able to introduce myself to my community, because as long and as hard as I've been campaigning, trying to get to every corner, it's impossible. You can't meet everyone. So it's really a pleasure to be in your company, because I know you have a good, strong listening audience. And if I can't meet you on the road, then I'll meet you here in studio.
That's right.
Yes. And so my name is Delia Smith. I'm a native of St. John. I have been in this community for over 40 years, right out of high school. Came from St. John, working as a secretary right out of high school. My first work experiences were really gifts that were given to me by fellow Crucians.
Hey.
It started with Sidney Lee, who was a senator. Most people in your generation don't have a clue who Sidney Lee is, but Sidney Lee was a senator here on St. Croix, and I worked in his St. Thomas office, but it was a short time because he retired after a year, and I also worked with a brilliant young woman, Miss Claire Roker. At the time, they used to be Hal Jackson's talented team.
Hey.
I don't think they have it anymore, but the St. Croix girls were always the most talented. You know, I think only in maybe one occasion we had a St. Joinian, actually, Carla Soar, who won talented team. But I used to be a chaperone, and when Mr. Lee retired, Miss Roker told me that she wanted me to go meet another Crucian by the name of Jada Finch. She was the first female attorney general at the time, and I went over there and met her, and you know, she was just a breath of really fresh air. The first time I had met a female in that position, and she was quintessential Crucians.
Ooh.
I'll never forget. I tell people I have hibiscus earrings because she was wearing a pair when I met her, and I used to say, one of these days I'm going to get me a pair of hibiscus earrings.
And that influence, you know.
Absolutely. And it took many years, but at minimum, you know, I did in fact, you know, get my earrings eventually. Many years later.
They look lovely.
Thank you very much. But you know, I went and I met her, and she hired me the same day, and I started working as a secretary. And you know, that time, you know, it was challenging. You know, coming from St. John, you know, you have to take that ferry over.
Yes.
A full day of work and then a full night of school, and you know, you take the last ferry back and you get up and do it all over again.
Yes.
So you know, when you wanted something, you really had to work for it.
Right.
But you know, they always say if you want it, you got to find the energy, you got to find the courage, and you know, looking back, it might sound like it was difficult, but when you're in the moment and you're doing it and you're driven by what comes at the end, you really don't even stop to think about how hard it
becomes
was.
muscle memory.
Exactly.
Right. And people ask me all the time, how you gonna get up every morning and have all that energy?
Exactly.
right. You know.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I worked there, and you know, when I finished UVI, and you know, working that many years, at that point I had worked 8 years with the AG's office as a secretary, and I was just so driven by the law, and you know, because these lawyers that I was working with and working for, you know, it was really more focused on the victim. It was always about restoring some kind of dignity and, you know, vindication for victims of crimes. And that really pushed me and moved me. And that's what motivated me to go to law school.
Oh my goodness. Listen, and I love hearing your story because you're one of the first people that actually painted the picture for me what growing up on St. John actually looks like. Now, mind you, I grew up in St. Thomas, you know, and I have friends from St. John who used to come over all the time, but you never quite really understand the perspective of what it is like, and you did a great job of painting that picture for us. So,
thank you.
But listen, I'm so interested in seeing all the other pictures you're going to paint for us today, because we're going to get into all the backstories, everything, the nitty-gritty, and we're going to open the phone lines for callers as well too. 340-715-7948. If you have questions, commentary, words of encouragement, whatever that may be, ladies and gentlemen, after these messages we're gonna get right back into it. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush T and Amane with your girl Neeks. We got Delia Smith in the house. Hey. Keep it live. We'll be right back after brief messages. Touch that dial.
I love that cowboy.
Is on for Daddy Jones' Filthy 3 Annual Birthday Bash. On Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea, Daddy Jones and friends set to mash up the place. Performing live, Fire International. Pascal. Lorna Freeman, Shakima, Ziggy, in Black Band, and the Energy Girl, Boomba. Hosted all by Big Man Bass and juggling by DJ Chubby and Lips International. Doors open at 9 p.m. and we ain't leaving till the last knock. Get your tickets at Armstrong's Ice Cream, Don't Pay Me No Mind, and Eventbrite. Saturday, July 25th at the Captain's Yard at Coral Sea. It's the Daddy Jones Filthy 3 Annual Birthday Bash.
You may not always say, I'm struggling, but withdrawing from family and friends, changes in sleep or appetite, losing interest in things they used to love, they need to know that you're paying attention, that you care, that they're never a bother. Have you checked in with your teen today? A few minutes of your time each day can make all the difference. Get conversation starters and mental health resources at doh.vi.gov/Gen Z.
Asking who is Delia Smith? Well, let me tell you. Delia is a St. Jonian wife, mother, and grandmother who has spent her entire adult life serving the people of the Virgin Islands. Her impeccable character and integrity is absolutely what we need and what earned her the historic position of U.S. Attorney. In that office, she demonstrated her courage to take on even the hardest fights and win, as well as her ability to easily form relationships and earn the respect of colleagues from both political parties. Through her work and as a lifelong resident, she knows us and the challenges we face firsthand. Most important, though, is her unquestionable passion for service, not to herself, donors, or special interests, but to all of the people of the Virgin Islands. She is mature, competent, and deeply committed to giving us the highest quality of representation. This is Donna Christensen. Vote number 2, Delia Smith, for Delegate to Congress.
Delia Smith, vote your voice. Delia Smith, the people's choice.
Vote for Delia Smith on August 1st. Paid for by Delia Smith for Congress number 2 on the ballot.
Hey, St. Croix, listen up. Your favorite spot, formerly known as Spicy Grill, is still turning up the heat as the Flaming Grill. Same flavors you love, now with more options. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. You can't miss it. We've got barbecue chicken, baby back ribs, pork chops, lamb chops, ribeye, and New York steak. Plus, fresh grilled salmon, mahi-mahi, and shrimp. And don't sleep on those daily specials. Cotton butter sauce, rich oxtail, Tuesday roti, and so much more. Always cooked just right. Burger lovers, you're covered. Chicken, steak, salmon, dolphin, veggie burgers with fries, wraps, wings, salads, hot sides, the whole lineup. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. Call ahead 340-778-6270 and follow us on Facebook. Same roots, a whole new fire.
Get ready, St. Croix. The heat is coming to Legends Lounge in Frederiksted. 4 unforgettable nights, July 30th through August 2nd. Experience the excitement of a live hibachi dinner and show. Watch as our talented chef cooks your meal right before your eyes. It's dinner and entertainment all in one amazing experience. See times are July 30th, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Friday, July 31st, 9 p.m. Saturday, August 1st, 4 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 p.m. And Sunday, August 2nd, 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., and 9 p.m. Limited seating is available, so reserve your spot today. Call or text 904-356-3839 or 904-947-0501 to RSVP. Don't miss this interactive hibachi experience featuring a live chef, real flames, big energy, delicious food, and unforgettable memories. July 30th through August 2nd, only at Legends Lounge in Frederiksted. We'll see you there.
Are you tired of the same old auto insurance? Well, guess what?
You got options. Keswick Insurance, we are the top one. Baby, it's easy, no problem. Get a free quote online now. You got options. Keswick Insurance, we are the top one.
Keswick has auto insurance for Virgin Islands living. Give us a call at 340-714-8100 or visit keswickinsurance.com.
Get a free quote online now. No sleep all night to me. me on drip when I step no loss. Same swing, be that cross on top. Every move calculated, boss. From the dark, now I go like this. Used to pray for a life like this. Now it's D.O. when I take that step. Every eye when I hit that strip. Shawty looking like shit. When I walk through the door. Team like we don't do no average. VIP, yeah, we set that score. Lights flash when I walk in. No see, we locked in. Heartbeat like a baseline. Too fly, no land. Girl, like this, yeah, it's time. City on fire when I touch down now. I'm in the we don't ever come down. Night vibes, we on the night. Too much shine, got them blinded by the light. Fast life, yeah, we living all right. We don't ever come down. Show your eyes when the beat go drill. Body moving, yeah, she know the feel. Bass hit deep like a war outside. Inside, we just chasing thrill. Got the ice like dinner. But the heat when I perform. Every move got pressure on it. Turn a spark to a thunderstorm. Came up from the ground up. Now the racks all stacked by self. Used to dream about nights like this. Now I live it, I don't just tell. Lights flash when I walk in. Don't see we locked in. Heartbeat like a baseline. To fly, no land. You're like this. Yeah, city on fire when I touch down now. I'm in see it ain't over. But we don't ever come down. Night vibes, we on the night. Too much shine, got them blinded by the light. Last night, yeah, we living on rewind. We don't ever come down. Yeah, slow it down for a minute. Look at how we winning from the pain to the rhythm. Now the whole world spinning.
Hey, that's right. The whole world spinning. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and your hostess with the mostest, Neeks, from the Bush Tea in the Morning radio show. That's right. Listen, we hightailing straight through this Friday morning. You know, Bush Tea in hand. You know, you gotta make sure you got all the tools to make sure that you're having a successful day. All right. We got none other than the candidate for delegate to Congress, Delia Smith. She's in here with me, and let me tell you, I need to bring my madras this morning because she got me feeling real cold already. All right, shout out to everybody on the TuneIn app, on the Facebook Live. Good morning to you. Everybody on the dial, y'all real MVPs, man. So good morning again, Delia.
Good morning, Neka.
Yes, all right. So, you know, over the break, we had running our mouth left and right.
Exactly.
So,
there's actually more talking in the break than when we're on the air.
Right?
Yes.
Always. I mean, the real juice to be on the break.
That's for sure.
So talk to me. Again, welcome back to Bush Tea in the Morning. So you've been doing a whole lot of work canvassing and getting the word out there, meeting your constituents where they are. Right. Last night we saw you at levels for the candidates, sit down, the conversations. Tell us, what has your experience been like thus far for this campaign season?
It has been such an eye-opening experience. The thing I like most about campaigning is meeting people. You know, I find that I use myself to bridge, you know, the divides between St. Thomas and St. John and St. Croix. You know, I feel like I am that poster girl who's going to tell you that there's more of us. There's more that we love about ourselves and our lives and the quality of this, you know, being people from the Caribbean than what separates us. And so I really, really appreciate that opportunity. I also, you know, I've gotten a new appreciation for listening, because then that's the real way to understand what people are going through. And you know, sometimes when I'm campaigning, you know, people who are campaigning with me say, well, Delia, you're taking too long with this person and we got to get to the rest of the crowd. But it's hard to pull away when people are bearing their souls. It really is, because maybe I'm the only person they've had an opportunity to tell that they're that they're having challenges, they need their needs are not being fulfilled, that they're frustrated, you know, and you learn from people. You know, the doctor, they always say the patient is the best doctor, because we are the ones who tell the doctor this is what we need. These are the problems we're experiencing. These are the pains we're having.
Yes.
And so it's that's the best analogy I can come up with, because people, if you don't listen, then you don't know what their struggles are.
Yes.
And so you might think, well, I'll give this person 2 minutes, but 2 minutes might turn into 10 or 20 because, again, it is just giving them an opportunity to be heard and trying to see what, if anything, I can do to remedy their struggle, to let them know that I would fight as I've fought all of my life, all my career, for their needs and their concerns. So that's been the most rewarding part, just meeting people, sometimes it's hard to campaign because, I don't see myself as a shy person, but I certainly have had to learn the skills of meeting people that you don't know. Because, we only go to familiar places and familiar faces. You don't have the luxury when you're asking people to trust you in a leadership role. You have to meet people where they are. And so that's been my biggest challenge, but it's also been my greatest reward.
And I love that response, simply because I'm one of those. I truly am an advocate for people understanding that people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Absolutely. Yes.
Especially now, we're in a time where people are really traversing major challenges, some of which that it's so many all at once, it almost feels like it consumes you.
And it's almost, you go into a state of shock. That's where I see our status. We're emotionally, we're in a state of shock because everything is being compounded by another story, another challenge, another delay.
Correct.
And so yes, I know that. People working together, you can move mountains. You can move mountains when you do that, as long as you stay focused and know that this is the outcome. I mean, we do it every day in our lives, we don't realize that, but we do it every day in our lives. We get up, we say, this is my objective for today. I have to get my bills paid. I have to take care of my kids, my family, and you do what it takes, whatever it takes.
And it doesn't slow down, regardless of what you're dealing with, what you're facing, whether it's raising kids, dealing with your parents, both traversing, financial issues, job losses, families going through probate. And there's so many different areas and aspects of our community that you could throw a rock and find somebody that's going through major depression or chronic isolation because they're not just and we're very prideful people. So a lot of people are going through a lot in the dark, and you don't realize the magnitude of how it's affecting the community until you really start to see crime rising in ways that it typically, crime is always going to be an issue no matter where you are in the world, but when you see it's becoming so concentrated, there's an underlying issue.
That's a perfect point, because last night I was looking at a press release that Lieutenant Naomi Joseph of the VIP League, who I've worked with for years. And
I actually want to play that. I made a note to play that this morning, so we'll continue.
I mean, I was so struck. We had just gotten home from Levels, and I was looking through my phone, and there's this press release from Lieutenant Joseph, and she's talking about these rash of burglaries and home invasions, and I am thinking, this is it's so scary. It's like you're sitting, you want to go to bed, but you can't fall asleep, because you just don't know what can happen, what will happen. And all of us were just sitting ducks, And that's why, sometimes I would hear comments like, well, Miss Smith, she was a prosecutor, and all she did was send black men to jail. And I'm thinking,
oh my goodness,
it is the most heartbreaking comment to hear, because in my role as a prosecutor, I have never sent anyone to jail. I've confronted individuals who committed heinous crimes, murders, rape, assault, gun violence, gang violence, domestic violence, you name it. It's just, a lot of harm comes from drug dealing. We have gangs, especially in St. Croix, that are warring against each other, just killing each other. And when I hear comments like that, I'm thinking, well, It's just a misplaced. Maybe it sounded good to say, but that person cannot really believe what they're saying, because if you think that your society, that we deserve, number one, that we deserve to live in a crime-ridden environment where none of us is safe.
Right.
I can't believe that anyone really believes that. And the only people we as prosecutors encounter are the ones that are committing those very, very heinous crimes, that are ripping our society apart, that are taking young, precious lives away from family members, that are mourning, and nobody can bring back those loved ones. And so, I look at the job that I've done as one where I am trying to bring back to those people who were victimized with crimes. I could never bring back a loved one.
Yeah.
But, there's the system of justice. We live in a system of justice. Wherever you go in this world, you're going to find them.
Yeah.
And I really don't think even the individuals who make those comments believe those words. They don't believe those words at all. Because if you do, then you're literally saying that we deserve to live among those who perpetrate crimes over and over. There's so many people. I was at the Business After Hours last night,
Right.
in Christiansted at 1756 Grotto, and those were mostly business owners.
Correct.
And they're local business owners. People like you and I.
Yes.
And the one sentiment I'm hearing is, my store was robbed. Somebody came break in. You won't believe how they got in. They went through the roof and came in, just ransacked the place, even though we didn't leave any money in the, we
Yeah.
leave. And so you hear that
So you
over.
take the necessary steps to make sure that you
Exactly.
secure the most valuable goods, and
Right.
still you take a loss.
Exactly. Because then you now have to fix what's broken.
And
so-
and replace what's taken. Because
Exactly.
I saw a video with one young man running through the door, whole register,
my-
and the monitor hanging.
My goodness. My
Oh my
goodness.
gosh.
Yes.
And these are places that we traverse regularly.
Right.
I'm looking at this video and I'm watching the seat that when I go into this establishment,
Right.
this is where I sit.
Oh my goodness.
So imagine the feeling.
but you were
feel-
there
I-
when
I-
that happened.
It's like it's not my business, but it's my community.
Right.
And I feel violated.
Exactly.
And
And another thing, people who may make those comments don't understand or appreciate is like a person like me, when you go after the most dangerous individuals in our community, the danger doesn't stop on the street.
Right,
The
right.
danger now becomes your problem as the government. They're coming for you too.
Yeah.
I've been threatened numerous times,
Wow. And people don't understand that perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had to leave the island. I'll never forget. The only thing I had time to grab was my bag, my handbag with
What?
my ID. Because in the mid trial with a set of drug dealer, it was a case we had on St. Thomas, and it was the first day of the trial. And when one of the agents was leaving to return to the office, their office, DEA agent, they shot up his vehicle.
What?
They shot up his vehicle. You couldn't recognize the vehicle with the number of gunshot. And so when there's in the federal government, when there's a breach of security, they view it as a risk for everyone involved in the case.
Oh my
And
God.
so that night when we finished court, all of us were whisked off island and had to leave our families for weeks until they could figure out where the threat came from, and they never caught the individual.
That's the thing about living here, and it's a catch-22 because, like you said, a lot of people in the community, or some people in the community, may feel like, oh, she used to just lock away black men, but it's because we live in a community where we're so close knitted
Right.
and woven together, right? So I know you, but I also know individuals who may live lifestyles that everybody may not be in agreement with.
Right.
I might be related to some people that might not align with the lifestyle I've chosen for myself.
Right.
But we're interconnected.
Right.
You
And,
know?
and that applies to me too.
All of us. It's
I
such a small,
Right.
I'd always say, small wall, even smaller Virgin Islands.
Exactly.
You know?
And I mean, the majority of people that I encountered as defendants, I either knew them, or I knew their family members,
Oh, wow.
or I knew someone who knew them,
Yeah.
and we had some kind of friends in common. But that's why I always approach my job with a sense of respect, because what I say, but for the grace of God, it could be me, it could have been one of my family members, it could
Today
have
for
been
me, tomorrow for you.
Exactly. And so I don't look at the individual, judge them. What I do is I just focus on what my mission is, and I treat everyone with respect. There are many people that I encountered as defendants who will tell you, Miss Smith, Miss Ann, she treated me right. She never judged me. If I decided I was going to plead guilty, she gave me the best deal possible, and so, because we're all human, and none of us, God didn't bring us into this world to spend our time behind bars. We're supposed to be free people, being able to, to thrive in whatever lifestyle we choose. But we do come from a system of laws, and when, as I said, I just wanted to be able to talk to that faction of our community that suggests, even in these times where so many people are losing their lives, we're in at a rate of 26 or 27 homicides. Okay, it is higher than the national average, more than twice the national average, and higher than any state territory
per capita.
What? We don't want to be that. That's not how we want to be recognized.
Right. We have so many things to be known for, and it's like the most negative things are taking precedence right now. And again, we're back in the news yet again with this HUD situation.
Oh, that's the most scary thing ever.
Oh, man. So, but I don't want to get too deep into it just yet. We're going to pay these commissioner bills really, really quick, and then we'll be right back. I also want to make sure that I get an opportunity to play this press release, not just for the listening audience, but because this is what we're talking about right now also. So guys, keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tina Mane with your girl Neeks. And we got Delia Smith in here with us this morning, candidate for delegate to Congress. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
I think it's
life is you, me, and 101.3 Roe FM. WEVI.
1 gig for $50 a month and a 30-day money-back guarantee? Are you fiber kidding me? I'm in. Girls, take the mic. I have to go. Oh, all right. Visit libertyvi.com/fiber and switch to Liberty True Fiber now.
Greetings, this is Neka Neekes, candidate for delegate to Congress and number 4 on your ballot. You've heard the celebration over making the rum cover over permanent at $13.25 per proof gallon. But here's what they're not telling you. That rate was first secured under Governor Charles Turnbull nearly 20 years ago. If it had kept pace with inflation, it would be worth about $21 today. Why does that matter? Because rum cover over revenues have been pledged to help support GERS and our retirees. A fixed rate that loses value over time means less purchasing power for the Virgin Islands and less long-term support for the system. As your next Congresswoman, I will fight to keep the $13.25 as the minimum, but modernize the formula so it grows with inflation and economic conditions. Because protecting our retirees requires more than a permanent number. It requires a policy that grows with the times. Angela Casero, number 4 on the ballot.
When I asked for your trust, I made a commitment to fight every day to improve the quality of life for the people of the Virgin Islands through action, solutions, and results. This is your Democratic Senator, Kenneth Kenny Gittens. Since the devastating hurricanes of 2017, too many rebuilding projects have faced unnecessary delays because of slow permitting and government red tape. That's why I introduced and successfully passed legislation allowing the Department of Planning and Natural Resources to offer expedited building permits through a special accelerated process. This common sense measure helps move construction projects forward faster, supports economic development, creates jobs, and helps our communities rebuild stronger and more efficiently. Progress can't wait, and our people deserve a government that works responsibly and delivers results. I respectfully ask for your continued support so I can continue fighting for a stronger, safer, and more prosperous Virgin Islands for all.
Paid for by the supporters of Kenneth Kenny Gittens.
Is your home or business ready for a fresh new look? Phantom Eyes LLC has got you covered from top to bottom. From professional painting and power washing to tiling, masonry, cistern services, and deep cleaning, even yard cleanup. Phantomize LLC does it all, and they do it right. We bring precision, reliability, and an eye for detail to every project. Big job or small job, your property is our priority. Call 340-226-3610 today and let Phantom Eyes LLC transform your space. Phantom Eyes LLC. If you can imagine it, we can improve it.
This is your gubernatorial candidate, Donna Fred Gregory. For too long, St. Croix has been overlooked. We've seen opportunity pass us while waiting for investment, economic growth, and the attention the Big Island deserves. It's time to awaken the sleeping giant. St. Croix has the land, the talent, the port, and the potential to become an economic engine for the United States Virgin Islands. Rodney and I will position St. Croix as the transshipment hub of the Caribbean, develop the South Shore Zone, and bring back environmentally friendly manufacturing plants, which will drive investment and long-term growth. When St. Croix succeeds, the entire Virgin Islands wins. Rodney and I have a path forward. Enough is enough. On August 1st, vote Donna Fred Gregory and Rodney Moorhead, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, number 3 on your ballot.
Virgin Island people, they tell me they set and ready for this.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG. This July, the excitement never stops at Caravel Casino. Every Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. Join us for Sunday Fun Day, where 5 Lucky Rewards Club members will each win $500 cash every hour. Plus, receive free slot play based on your club tier. If you're 50 or better, stop in every Monday for $10 in free slot play. Tuesdays and Saturdays, Rewards Club members receive bonus free slot play based on their tier. And every Wednesday, enjoy another free slot play offer just for visiting. Then, turn up the heat. Thursday nights from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. during our Beat the Heat drawings with $500 cash winners every hour. Every Friday from 3 p.m. until midnight, it's our staycation drawings where hourly winners take home $500 cash or a 2-night hotel stay. And celebrate Independence Day on Saturday, July 4th with $500 drawings every hour from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Join the Caravel Rewards Club today and receive $25 in free slot play just for signing up. Caravel Casino, your place to play this July.
Hey fellas, kings, VI men, yes you, I'm talking to you. Please put down the guns. We need you.
Grandson, I need you.
Babe, I need you.
Son, I need you.
Daddy, I need you.
Every time you kill a brother in this community, we all suffer. VI men, we need you. Walk away and live to see another day. This message has been brought to you by the St. Croix Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and Crime Stoppers USVI 1-800-222-TIPS.
The new 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, Frederiksted, Christiansted,
And guy full of fight.
Troy. You're listening to 101.3 Roe FM, now broadcasting from the Napa Auto and Truck Parts Studio. Fisherman's wife, did he call you for that part? Call us. We'll have it ready for pickup before he's back to shore.
First him and then some part to get them on. You see, that's how we did it. Chit chat when I'm spun to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, I dance on the party shop. Get the good boys, don't make the party stop. Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, I dance on the party shop. Get the good boys, don't make the party stop. Take it easy. Fly guy, all the girl are breathe me. First I sit down, this one I no secret. Make the money, spend it like my easy. Rolling in the Benz, collecting all my ends. Blood eyes, flashing on my lens. Smart ties, them boy are my friends. Your wife, she want me again. Out and bad, yeah we out and bad. Once I make it deep, the whole place. Coming on tools and cheese like we are old dog. Give them the thing and make them know we back. Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, others on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop.
Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, others on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop. Let me tell you, some of them come here fit up on them a phone. But them dress up in the clothes with them arm well fall. And they lift up them house with not a bill fall. Think about y'all, them bar, them a look better but nah do the street, them nah do the road. We prefer to get a girl we can wine for the phone. And know the road road and know how we roll them hips. We don't wanna see no gunman clips.
Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, others on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop.
Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, others on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop.
I see a lot of girls that should be having my baby. Tell the shot to you them not to gun and not kill. Rude boy don't bust it gun in the place. Rude boy don't bust it gun in the place. I see a lot of girls them should be having my baby. Tell the shot to you them not to gun in them ways. Rude boy don't bust it gun in the place. Rude boy don't bust it gun. Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, others on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop.
Chit chat when I respond to that. Got the big drop, pull it up off the lot. Yeah, in a dance on the party shot. Tell the road boys don't make the party stop.
Take it easy. Fly by all the girl are free me. First I sit down, this man I no secret. Make the money, spend it like my BD. Easy.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tea in the morning. That's right. Grab a cup and pull up. We are back. Oh, yes, we are definitely easing and moseying on down through the morning. We have candidate for delegate to Congress here with me, Delia Smith. Good morning again. Welcome back.
Good morning, St. Croix. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So before the break, we were talking about this press release that took place yesterday evening, and there may be quite a few people that did not have an opportunity to hear what was said by, was it the commissioner?
Lieutenant Naomi Joseph.
Yes, Lieutenant Naomi Joseph. So listen, I want to play this one for you guys, and please listen up closely. This is an urgent PSA for our community, especially here on the Big Island of St. Croix. So we have had a slew of activities taking place, you know, it's negative of course, but we want to make sure that you are prepared and that at least you hear the information that's necessary for you to take the necessary steps to prevent harm for you, your family, your business, your loved ones. So listen up closely and then we'll get back into what we're talking about. Hold one moment. This is Bush Tea in the morning.
Good day, St. Croix. I am Naomi Joseph, your Deputy Chief of Police, this district. I come to you today because we are having a rash of robberies and burglaries, and the burglaries range from you locking your home, securing it, coming back and meeting it ransacked, to you being in the home all hours of the day and night. So they're coming in, tying the homeowners up or whoever's in the home up, taking whatever valuable they can, and then leaving if they can. They'll even leave with your vehicle if that's available for them to go with. So I want you to know that this is going on. It makes no sense for us to have an idea and don't share it with you, and you're not vigilant and being mindful that you're not as safe in your home as you want to be. So it seems like it's multiple groups, because we have a group that's out here burglarizing the businesses in the night. Between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. they're burglarizing. We have a group that's terrorizing, not funny, but our drug dealers. So they're robbing our drug dealers. They're not reporting it, so, but we know that's what's happening. We have another group that's targeting the areas that they think more wealthy people live. And so they're going out in those areas and they're doing that home invasion. And then we have a group that while you're out at work, they're breaking into your home. So what can you do to protect yourself? First thing, keep your phone next to you. Any sounds that you hear, don't feel no way, dial 911 right away so that we can get moving. If you hear a sound outside in your yard, please don't open your door to investigate. Don't do that. Watch, observe. If you can see a license plate in a vehicle, get that. All right? Call 911. When you're leaving, make sure you lock everything up. Don't leave nothing with no gaps that they can use to get into your home. And in your home, make sure to secure your valuable in a very secret place. We all have a place where we know about, but you can't just sit with the naked eyes. Hide your valuables as best as you can. More importantly, if you have animals, be aware of the different sounds, because we can tell the difference between the dog barking at somebody to know or strangers in your place. There is a difference. And when you hear those differences and you're able to see and you realize there's nobody you know, call 911. The ultimate goal is to get you help as soon as possible. We aren't Superman, but we're coming. And we're coming to help you, protect you in the best possible way that we know how. All right, so I'm arming you with the information. There appear to be young males. I do not have ages and I do not have exact color of skin tone because they're covering themselves from top to bottom, long sleeve, dark color clothing, hoodies, and dark shades. They're covering up themselves. So I can't tell you race, I can't tell you, but I can tell you from the voices that we understand that they appear to be very young. The mannerism appears to be young men. And so with that knowledge, I want you to safeguard yourself, safeguard your property, and remember, you can replace property, you can't replace life. So if the push comes to shove, preserve your life. Be the best possible witness that you can be. Document every single thing that you could think about them. If you hear an accent, like Hispanic individuals from different countries have different accents. So a Puerto Rican don't sound like a Santo, and they don't sound like a Venezuelan. They have different accents. Keep that in mind and listen for every single thing. If you're hearing a West Indian accent, document it in your mind. Be the best possible witness you can be. And we're going to do what we can, but do it, remember, call 911. 911. Thank you. Good day, St. Croix.
All right, so that was last night's press release, and it's very disheartening to hear that this is what we're dealing with here in our territory right now, you know, especially here on the Big Island. It's like we don't need nothing extra to be, you know, on high alert about.
Exactly.
You know, especially in a time where, you know, people are busy trying to, you know, secure resources for their families. You know, the cost of living is extravagant at this point, especially after this war that's been taking place. Gas prices rising and falling. You know, the cost of everything rising and falling. You know, it's just not something that we need right now. Going into the beginning of the school season again, you know, families trying to make sure that they can get their kids ready. You know, it's too much. We're dealing with the hurricane season. Preparation preparations for that. We're dealing with taking care of our parents, our elderly, and we're doing so with limited resources as it is, you know. So then here comes this.
Right. And again, just, you know, not to belabor the point about crime, but if we have a community who, you know, think that this is normal, then we are in dire straits, far deeper than we ever can expect. So that's why we cannot have the mindset that it's okay to be victim, constant state of victimhood, where, you know, you're just sitting duck waiting for something to happen. And so our attitude, the community as a whole, our attitude towards crime has to be that any of us can be victimized.
Correct.
And if any of us or our loved ones, our family, friends can be a victim, then that should give us a different approach when it comes to law enforcement.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
and I think that's very, very, very chilling. I've worked with the deputy chief now. She, you know, Lieutenant Naomi Joseph. I've worked with her for years. I've never seen a more committed human being. That, you know, and her commitment isn't to solving crime; it's to protecting the citizens and residents of St. Croix. And you see her bleeding heart. She's telling you all the ways that you can protect yourself. To be on an outlook. She's telling you everything that she has learned so far about and as we can see, it's at least 4 groups that she described as
at different times. The fact that they have a schedule is
right. So just let's all be good citizens. Let's all, you know, rise to the occasion. Let's protect ourselves and take all the advice we can. Take it seriously, and just be safe out there.
One of the things I read in the commentary while I was reviewing it early in the wee hours of this morning, right, is one member of the community mentioned that they failed to say that they're using drones to canvass your neighborhoods before they decide where they're going to target.
That is chilling.
Isn't it?
Absolutely chilling.
Especially when you consider the fact that you could walk into any electronic store in the territory and buy a drone.
Right.
Now, that adds an entirely different layer.
Yes, it does.
Of fear.
Exactly.
In a situation where you already feel like you can't do much to protect yourself.
Right.
Now, I gotta say a huge shout out to the VIPD for getting on this quickly, making sure that the information has been passed. I saw a video not too long ago, I think I mentioned it earlier in this interview as well, where one of the locations in Princess, a restaurant, very well-known restaurant as well too, they broke in the glass and ran out with, you saw the individuals, and they are fully covered, but they ran out with the register.
Imagine,
right? As well as something to drink. That was different. Yes. I mean, it gotta be hard work. Yes. So you make sure you grab some refreshments.
Right.
But you know, and not in making light of the situation, but it's just one of those things where it really brings the message home that, you know, we can't really do a whole lot to protect ourselves with the current state of our territory right now. And I love that they mentioned call 911. Don't put yourself in harm's way.
Right.
But say one, say two. I'm of the honest opinion, and I say my opinion because it's not the views of the station or anything otherwise, but it's in my opinion that especially when you have an undermanned police force, already, right? Hours are stretched. Everybody is doing overtime all the time, which makes them, it actually compromises the situation even more, because that means you have the individuals that you do have are usually overworked.
Yes.
Right? How strong are your cognitive abilities when you are overworked? You know? And that's not just a human trait. That's machinery. That's anything. If you don't give it time to rest, it can't operate fully. So that being said, that is the state of our police force currently. And that's not to take away anything from the hard work that they do and the effort that they put forth in the community, but it's reality. And you have a community that cannot fully protect themselves, because we do, although we have the right to bear arms, I am of the opinion that the Virgin Islands has the most stringent firearms rules, regulations, laws, and bylaws this side of the Caribbean as well as the nation itself. And maybe it's high time, maybe, and it's something to consider, maybe it's high time we even out the playing field.
You know, home gun ownership, you can, you know, right now the Department of Police, they're being sued because...
yeah, I saw that. I read that. I shared that.
There are a group of lawful gun owners that are challenging the laws as is currently, and even with just that lawsuit, you've seen a lot of the restrictions have been set aside. They've been set back because they too recognize that perhaps the individual discretion, the discretion to issuing a firearm going to one person may be far greater than the Constitution allows. So they're making the.
Well, I'm glad the conversation is on the table, because one thing we got to be very very cautious about is the fact that we are a community also, right? We're a Black community, and we have a lot of single mothers in our community. We have a lot of one income households most of the time, right? So that being said, the breadwinners are usually out going to win the bread,
right?
That in itself creates a risk. And if I hungry, I learn to hunt. These are our hunters.
Okay.
We are being hunted.
Right.
How do we protect ourselves, or are we expected to sit back and just be prey?
No, there's always an approach. When I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office as U.S. Attorney, the one thing I did, recognizing that the Virgin Islands Police Force is undermanned, as you mentioned earlier, is we brought the two systems of law enforcement together.
Correct.
Federal and local. The federal government is not short of resources.
Right.
And so it doesn't mean that they're taking over, but what it does mean is that they're assisting the VIPD on operations so that, the void that is created by a short or a small workforce is supplemented by the federal officers who help and have really been excellent at helping to respond, at least during my leadership, respond to the more serious crimes that were being committed, and those cases became federal cases, and because they were federal cases, they were prosecuted in short time and resolved successfully. So we should revisit that approach where we're using all hands on deck. And combining the resources that we have, federal and local, so that we can, in fact, be the presence and provide the assistance that the community needs. Because, a federal officer has limited jurisdiction as to, when I say jurisdiction, I just simply mean the types of crimes that they can, in fact, commit. But unfortunately, because gun violence is the primary form of crimes committed, federally, they do have jurisdiction over unlawful gun possession and crimes committed with unlawful guns. And so I would like to see that, collaboration again, part of what the islands can receive as a whole from both law enforcement agencies, federal and local.
Right. Yes. And I mean, I'm curious to see how things are going to change, but what would you say would be your approach should you be granted the position and the seat as delegate to Congress? What would you be your approach, in Washington, where our laws are affecting our abilities to either protect ourselves or and it's a difficult seat to sit in, because you got to look at the approach from the Constitution, you got to look at it from a legal standpoint, you got to look at it from Washington's standpoint, but at the end of the day, that position is a position that is literally created to represent us.
Well, one thing I know, as I've said, the lawsuit that's currently pending against the VIPD, it's going to, court will fix broken.
Okay.
If there's an overreach by the local laws as far as legal gun ownership, the court will make the corrections as far as the VIPD, and being able to have business owners or homeowners or individuals who qualify for, firearm possession, legal firearm possession, that system becomes far smoother than it is currently. And so the law will work it out. That I'm confident. I'm confident of that. And it's good also to see that the VIPD has taken the initiative to relax some of the regulations that they had in place that were being challenged or is still being currently challenged in a court of law. So first, that's a situation that has to be resolved in the courtroom.
Correct.
And while it's pending, I'm confident that the court will get it right. I'm going to serve the court. So I just, whatever the court decides, we
enforce.
Exactly. And so that's one step. But as far as resources, a delegate to Congress is the bring home the bacon kind of person. You go to Washington and it's really about the advocacy that you can fight for your district. You can convince people on the other side or on both sides of the aisle that I need a voice here. Okay, I need to be able to adopt a friendship and a working, cohesive relationship with everyone who is at the table. When I don't have a seat there, I want to befriend those who does.
Correct.
And then this may be angle for which I can leverage whatever assignments I have.
Correct.
To address the needs of other leaders in Congress, so that they can do the same for me, because it's all about bringing as much funding as you possibly can. And with law enforcement, we can't just think of law enforcement as the policing part. We have to think of those who are the perpetrators. Even they need to be rescued.
Hey, you hear she say, is even the drug dealers getting robbed too?
Exactly.
And bad getting it. So that should tell you something.
We have to reach out to our young men and women who are deciding that a life of crime is the best option for them.
Correct.
And we got to fix that. That's the biggest challenge, because you can have as much police officers as you want. If you're not changing the attitudes of the persons who are perpetrating the crimes, then you have not completely addressed the issue. And people think that, again, because you work for the government, that you somehow only think about law enforcement. But I believe law enforcement has to be coupled with reaching those who are in fact committing those. And we got to get our community engaged. We also have to ask for funding that would create more outreach programs, so that we're reaching young men and women at an earlier stage in life, to give them the incentives to do different, choose a life, make more meaningful and responsible decisions about the type of life that they want to live. And so when I was growing up, we had the 4-H program with the National Park on St. John. We have programs like LIFT with the Department of Labor. We have the University Bound program. You also have other outreach programs like Project Safe Neighborhood.
Yes.
And that's really the funding will come.
Yeah.
But a big problem that we have with funding is that it doesn't get spent. Because
and there seems to be some holes in the bucket, because according to the national news, we are getting a lot of funding in different areas, but it's accounted for. And
that, the 1,000-pound elephant in the room is, of course, the HUD suspension of funds to our district.
Yes.
That is a gut punch.
It is.
Okay, because people just think of the rebuilding that HUD funds should be used to bring our communities back to healthy, thriving societies again. But more than that, or in coupled with that, is the fact that the matching fund that we need for other projects that comes from those same funds that we get from HUD.
Correct.
You know, so because every time the government gives you money for projects, they tell you have to match. I mean, it might be 2%, 3, 4, 5%, but you gotta say if something costs $10 million, you gotta come up with that 2 to 5%, depending on what they say is our matching. It's the same for healthcare, education. It doesn't matter what the program is. There's matching that the government, and so we were leveraging those HUD funds to meet those match. To meet the match that we have for restoring all these projects. So the idea that the suspension is just on housing issues, it's far more than that.
More than that. And I saw some commentary that, through the course of this, a lot of people may be potentially losing jobs. Projects may be ending. So this is something that it's another situation that has us on high alert.
I always feel as though one thing with the federal government, having worked for them for 20 years, they're not going to just pull everything from under you. They've given a 30-day period for appeal, to appeal their decision, and we have to use that. We got to put everything in the bucket. So, I mean,
even when we do that, how do we justify that which we are being accused of?
Well, we can't justify it.
Right.
You can't, you got to own when you've done something wrong. You own it, but then you give all of the steps to say, in spite of what my shortcomings were, here's how I'm going to fix it. Tell them, okay, so HUD is the fiduciary, Housing Finance Authority is the fiduciary for HUD funding.
Yes.
Propose that we use a different agency within the government. There are many departments within the government. We don't have to stick with HUD. If the problem is Housing Finance, if the problem is HFA, show them agency that has been in compliance, that does have a A+ for performance.
So
what is responsible.
And I'm glad that you said that, because what are the agencies that meet compliance?
Well, you got I don't know all of the agencies as far as their compliance issues, but what I'm proposing is that they do exist. We have ODR, we have OMB. It has to be. We have finance. We have different agencies that manage monies, and so we have to look among them. Those are three that I'm aware of. I couldn't tell you right now what their compliance issues are, but again, you can't choose public work. You have to choose an agency that is very familiar with managing large budgets. Okay, and so the compliance issue is built in with some of these agencies already. So I really believe that we just need, because we have to give them the approaches as to how we're going to correct these ills. And so we have to start looking within. And it has to take an all of government approach. That's the executive branch and the legislative branch. Find the best of who we are, even if it means you're forming a new committee that's going to take leadership from all these different departments, bringing them together, coming up with all the plans as to say, look, we may have fallen short these issues, but here are our corrective steps, and give us another opportunity. And to show you, ask for an extension of the 30-day deadline. Ask for time. These are things that I've done in a leadership role for the government, because and that's the thing. People don't like oversight, but in lack of it, when we don't have it, these are the things that happen.
Listen, when the cat's away, the mouse come out to play. So we need that oversight.
All oversight does is keep you honest. And you
accountable.
And at the end of the day, you feel a lot better, because it's like, I'm killing this. I am meeting my goals. I am meeting all of the deadlines. I'm making sure that I'm keeping the federal government happy, and I'm in compliance with whatever rules there are. And there's sometimes there's certain things you may still fall short of, but at least they know you're trying. They'll say, well, you're substantially in compliance with the rules that we've set forward, or the guidelines that we've created. So that's still really a good passing mark. And so that's really one of the approaches I think we have to do. We just really have to show them that there are very qualified agencies within the government, and tell them, you don't need to look at HFA anymore. This is what we're going to do, and these are the people who are going to do it. You can trust them to make those changes.
Yeah. So tell me, That being said, right, and this is just one aspect. As a matter of fact, you know what? No. I'm going to ask this question after the break because we're going to get into it and then I'm going to have to pause.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, you know, and I'm loving the conversation so far. Ladies and gentlemen, keep it locked right here. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush T and Amana with your hostess, Neeks. We're going to be right back after these messages. We're going to keep the lights on and the mics on real quick. All right? I promise. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial.
Okay. I need to make...
Roe FM. Roe FM.
I hear my people say candidates Tregenza and Novell are too nice, too quiet, too soft to lead. Let me tell you something. Senator Novell Jr. had on a uniform for 25 days, walking these neighborhoods day and night. Nobody who's worked these streets, knocked on doors at 2 a.m., rowdy for the officers, that's called soft, except by people who never served a day. And Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach, quiet? Yes. Steady? Yes. That's not weakness. That's a man who spent his life doing the work instead of talking about it or running on TV for attention like others in this race. Loud is not strong. I've seen loud women freeze when truth hits your face, and I've seen quiet men run towards actual danger. That's not two nice guys who can't lead. That's leadership that doesn't need a shout. Roach and Francis, serving with a purpose. For you, not the few.
Paid for by Roach Francis for Governor and Lieutenant Governor.
Virgin Islanders, I am Terry Helenice, born and raised in Montbijou on St. Croix. I attended Good Hope School during my formative years, where I played volleyball and softball. Many of you know my father, Deacon Arnold Helenice. He worked at the Hess Oil Refinery, served as a deacon in the Catholic Diocese for nearly 50 years, and later opened LeBaron Men's Clothiers in Sunyang Shopping Center, where I worked after school and on weekends. That's where I learned the value of hard work and small business. After Hurricane Hugo, I watched my father rebuild his business from the ground up. That experience taught me resilience, determination, and the importance of creating opportunities for others. Scholarships and grants made it possible for me to attend Florida Memorial College, the home of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, where I earned my degree in political science. I later earned my master's degree in statistics and communications and began my career in Governor Roy Lester Schneider's Washington, D.C. office before moving into leadership roles with Booz in Hamilton, Deloitte, and Diageo's Captain Morgan Rum. Throughout my career, I've worked on congressional mandated initiatives, including the Transportation Worker Identification Credential and the Government Computerized Patient Record, known today as Electronic Health Records, where I strengthened partnerships and delivered measurable results. At Diageo, I hired and trained a workforce that was 97% Virgin Islanders and institutionalized a pay-for-performance bonus for leadership and hourly employees. Working with Kevin Colwood and the Rum Cover-Over Working Group, I helped secure the retirement funding for our retirees. During the COVID years, I authored a grant that brought $25 million to support our students. I also helped secure federal resources and introduced partnerships that continue to benefit our territory today. Now, I'm ready to put that experience to work for you in Congress. As your delegate, I'll work across the aisle to strike Section 1108 in the Social Security Act, which will put the Virgin Islands on par with the states and move from a capped $20 million to at least $128 million returned to the Virgin Islands every single year. I will work to rebase TEFRA, strengthen healthcare, establish a feed mill on St. Croix that will help farmers and enable food security. I will advocate for a veterans wing at the Young F. Louis and Schneider Regional Hospitals and serve as a strong watchdog over WAPA. I'll work with FEMA, HUD, the Department of Energy, and our federal partners to protect funding that's already been awarded and to secure new investments for the Virgin Islands. You can call me the queen of pork. Because if federal dollars are available for the Virgin Islands, I'll find them and bring them home. I spent my career building relationships, solving problems, and delivering results. On day one, I won't need a learning curve because I've already done the work. I am Terry Helenice, and I respectfully ask for your vote. Together, let's move the Virgin Islands forward with proven leadership, real results, and a delegate who's ready from day one. I'm number 3 on the ballot.
Vote number 3, Congress.
Paid for by Terry Helenice for Congress.
Armstrong Ice Cream St. Croix, serving up sweetness family style in Frederickstead. Come cool on down with ice cream flavors you love. Pumpkin and Baileys for Thanksgiving vibes. Sweet guava berry for Christmas time. And all year round we're serving up lemongrass, soursop, gooseberry, guava, passion fruit, and so much more. Amazing and refreshing taste in every scoop. Hungry? You'll love the deli. Veggie beef burgers, hot off the grill. Cheesy quesadillas, done just right. Hours nice and easy. Tuesday to Saturday, 7 to 7 with the deli serving until 2:30 p.m. And Sundays serving ice cream 11 to 7 p.m. Give us a call, 340-772-1919. Armstrong Ice Cream. Cool vibes, sweet flavors, island style.
As a veteran, I have extraordinary admiration and respect for those who dedicate their lives to public service to the communities and to our territory. At the same time, we must recognize that our politics, our government, and our institutions have too often failed us, the people, culminating in this moment of crisis. Healthcare, water, infrastructure, schools. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through different methods and different thinking, committed to our same values and principles, all while offering practical solutions as we manage our future for effective governance. I know Kurt Viela will fight fearlessly for our island and for this territory. He believes in the betterment of our people, fairness and dignity of all. Vote to re-elect Senator Kurt Viela to remain in the fight for all of us. Early voting takes place on July 20th to the 29th, and primary election is on August 3rd. Vote number 5, Kurt Viela.
Paid by friends of Kurt Viela to the Senate.
Man, I need some concrete work done, but these prices out here are crazy.
Then you clearly haven't called Chitoli Services LLC.
Chitoli? What they got different?
Different? They got the best prices in the entire Virgin Islands. Nobody beats them. Nobody.
Really? Even with concrete and pumping?
Everything. Concrete pump services, heavy equipment rental, even demolition. All at the lowest prices around.
Say less. I need that number.
Just call 340-332-9872 or 340-772-7000 today. Chitoli Services LLC. Built on strength, driven by service, and the best prices in the Virgin Islands.
We hear the team talking about honesty and integrity, but those values are proven through actions, not words. Honesty and integrity are demonstrated when no one is watching. When Donna Fred Gregory served as president of the legislature, she launched an independent audit of the legislature's finances to review contracts, strengthen internal controls, and ensure taxpayer dollars were being spent responsibly. But when Novell Francis Jr. became Senate President, he canceled that audit before it was completed. So the question is simple. Why stop an independent review of public funds? What was there to fear? Honesty and integrity aren't campaign slogans. It's about doing what's right, even when it's difficult. On August 1st, make your vote count. Choose number 3 for Donna Fred Gregory for governor and Rodney Moorhead for lieutenant governor. Choose transparency. Choose accountability. Choose results.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
Hey, St. Croix, listen up. Favorite spot, formerly known as Spicy Grill, is still turning up the heat as the Flaming Grill. Same flavors you love, now with more options. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. You can't miss it. We've got barbecue chicken, baby back ribs, pork chops, lamb chops, ribeye, and New York steak. Plus, fresh grilled salmon, mahi-mahi, and shrimp. And don't sleep on those daily specials. Kankin butter sauce, rich oxtail, Tuesday roti, and so much more. Always cooked just right. Burger lovers, you're covered. Chicken, steak, salmon, dolphin, veggie burgers with fries, wraps, wings, salads, hot sides, the whole lineup. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. Call ahead 340-778-6270 and follow on Facebook. Same roots, a whole new fire.
You're tuned into 101.3 Roe FM. Now, broadcasting from the Napa Auto and Truck Park Studio. Keep your Ranger on the road and go see Napa for the part you need today.
Say it every time. Say it every time. Rich on me, say it every time. Spend my money on you, kinda fine. Yeah, we fine. Me put in like the ladies, in my prime. Yeah, the great kiss, smelling off the wine. No, cause you're not basic, no one for shine. In like the studio, but look up on my mind. Straight to the top, in the design.
Yes. Hey, 42 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock already. Time flies when we having fun, guys. And you already know my cup done every bean of boy. But it's still hot today. Yes. How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling like I'm in a St. Croix state of mind.
That's what I'm talking about. And we need that. Work with that.
Right.
So definitely, we talked about quite a few things here on the show this morning. One of which, I just want to touch on one other topic. Actually two.
Okay.
Just two, right?
All right.
So practically, there's been so many debates that's been taking place over the course, right?
Okay.
Right. We've had how many?
We've had 2 debates and 1 forum.
Okay.
Right.
So there it is. So
yes.
And a lot of the community is paying attention. I honestly am of the belief that this is one of the most
consequential,
right, where everybody is so attentive, regardless of age group, right? Hey, and that's an achievement in itself. So hey, shout out to we doing right. So hold on, we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, that's the reason. Thanks to the motor, granting us the life, made let us read more. Give thanks for the show, for giving the opportunity, and thank you, coming to the forefront and going forward where you have to do. My big question, and if I don't ask it, it'll be an injustice to me and my being of who I am and who I want for the BI. Will our children could go to war, but yet we cannot vote in the BI? And we have a delegate of Congress. I know you have different stipulations and what they try to put forward, but why we don't push to try to vote for the president? That's my biggest thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, good morning, sir. Thanks for calling. And while you're correct, we do not vote for our presidents in the Virgin Islands, and it's mainly because of our unincorporated. We're an unincorporated territory, so that does come with limitations. And the struggle have, it has been started years and years ago, where we would love to expand our rights as Americans and realize every right provided to every state in the nation. And that struggle will always continue, not just for our district, but also for other unincorporated territories. There are several. And so, we just need to look at our neighbor or to the west, Puerto Rico, and, we're here, we all have the same things, we're all fighting for the same things. And, as they always say, we're going to continue to fight for a more perfect union. We have many issues to confront. One of the most important ones, of course, is to be on the same level playing field as all of our sisters and brothers in the United States. But there are some, issues that limits what we have, the rights that we enjoy, and the ones that we want. And it starts with our status, that our status, the status that we have does not permit for all of those rights. And so the discussion has to start with what is the status that we want to enjoy as Americans. And of course, it also means that, everything takes an act of Congress, where it's not just we can petition for what we want, but the only way we're going to get it is to be able to petition Congress and convince them that they should give us those rights. And so all I want to say is the struggle continues. It took many years for, blacks to be able to vote, for women to be able to vote. We're just continuing. Just the other day, the very citizenship of Americans who were born to parents who are not Americans was being challenged in the highest court in the land. And so, sometimes democracy takes time, but as we've seen, the harder you push, the harder you fight, in time you will recognize the rights that you deserve. And so all I can tell you is that's my fight. I would love to be able to, to vote for a president. I have had many generations of my family have fought in, every branch of the U.S. military. And so if we, as you say, if we can fight to protect this country, why shouldn't we be able to vote for who leads it? And so we just have to continue that fight. And I think we're on the right path. And that's certainly something that I would pursue as well.
Would that be something you push for when you got there, God?
Say that again?
Would that be something you push for, Ms. Smith, after you go up there?
Absolutely. As I said, that struggle continues. It's one, as I want those rights too, very, very much. I would love to have those rights. I would love to be able to see the people of our territory vote for the President of the United States. And because we are Americans and should be afforded all of the rights and protections as every other American. So that's near and dear to me. And yes, to answer your question, it would absolutely, we other territories that are pushing for that, and we just have to stay in the fight. And I believe that the day will come that we will be successful. But there's a lot that goes into making that decision, and how we are currently defined as an unincorporated territory outside of the U.S. Customs Zone. There are many factors that affect what we are and who we are and what we're afforded. And so the change is good, and change comes with continued pressure, continued fighting, and I don't know that you can find any other candidate that has a record of delivery than you will find in me, because that's what I've done for the last 20 years as a federal prosecutor and an officer of the law, and in my leadership role as U.S. Attorney. So, yes.
And since your profession was in that career, what are cost solutions for the education system by the time? Well, I didn't come up with it. I watched something from 2018 that happened, a disaster happened stateside where they implement the young people from between 15 to 24
with you. You know, I hear a lot of stories on the campaign trail, especially from the the younger millennials who are frustrated to the umpteenth degree because they're so extremely talented. They've been here in the community after most of them studying abroad and coming back. You know, we like being able to go to college when we get out of high school to get off of these islands and experience a new environment, college life. It's exciting, and everybody should have that ability. Even though I went to UVI, and that was exciting too. But but the point of the matter is that you want to come home. You know, I'm a person who particularly I don't like living in very cold weather. I don't mind cold, but not extreme cold weather.
Right.
And so living in the Virgin Islands and being able to wake up and see the ocean every day, and see the pelicans. Just the iguanas running around your yard, and the chickens, and waking you up crowing at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the quintessential lifestyle that we love. But right. I see and the bush tea. Don't leave me the bush tea.
That's right. Home to thaw out.
And so the thing, however, though, is we do have a very talented group of young individuals who come home and they're looking to expand. They're looking to work in our community to give all of the expertise that they've earned while studying abroad and making it part of our society. And they're so frustrated because the jobs sector is simply not there. And it would be another brain drain if we were to see this young and talented group of individuals have to leave in order to find work, in order to be homeowners, in order to thrive in our community. It would be heartbreaking to see
I'm talking about the ones who even striving to even survive today, that who can't even afford to eat 3 meals a day. I'm talking about those. I'm talking about those who just need a little extra change in the pocket to help buy the school clothes. So if you change the education system, they're actually getting paid and doing work in this community, the community will never look trapped down. It will be better. The young people have more self-esteem, more honor in, being part of the BI. So when the stuff changes.
Yes, Reggie. I'm so sorry, Reggie. We got to cut to a brief commercial break really, really quick, but I'd like to say thank you for calling in. You're always welcome. You got to call in a little earlier, Reggie.
No problem. I'll listen. No problem.
All right, but thank you so much. We're going to cut to this break really quick, and we'll be right back so we can wrap up the show. It's Bush Tea in the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Time flies when we're having fun. I keep telling you. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tea in the Morning with your hostess, Neeks. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
And the 30-day money-back guarantee? Are you fiber kidding me? I'm in! Charles, take the mic. I have to go. Oh, all right. Visit libertyvi.com/fiber and switch to Liberty True Fiber now.
Hello, I'm Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina. And I'd like to share why I am honored to be supporting Stacey Plaskett as the next governor of the Virgin Islands. Stacey Plaskett is an outstanding member and a good and powerful individual. I watched her develop real relationships with members of all persuasions and in both parties. She fought every day for the people of the Virgin Islands, and she made real progress. Voting can make a difference. Vote for Stacey Plaskett and Milton Potter for governor and lieutenant governor.
Sponsored by Plaskett Potter for People.
I was born here, St. Croix. My roots, Mamadou, then Glen. Public school all the way. Then I put on a badge. I spent my career walking these same streets and neighborhoods. I know what people are worried about when they lock their doors at night.
and I know what they're hoping from us when they wake up in the morning. 6 terms as your senator. Senate president, twice. Police commissioner, husband, small business owner, father. Every one of those responsibilities was a duty. With me, St. Croix will always have a seat at the table. When Lieutenant Governor Roach asked me to run with him, I didn't hesitate, because this isn't about 2 politicians on a ballot. When you spend a career in law enforcement, you get good at spotting when something doesn't add up. I can tell you, that hasn't added up. We intend to change that. That's what purpose looks like. I'm Noble E. Francis Jr. I've been earning your trust my whole life. I'm not about to stop now.
Paid for by Roach Francis for Governor and Lieutenant Governor.
Hey hon, have you checked out Precision Auto Parts? They have everything you need for your car.
Is that the new Auto Parts store where cars only used to be by 5 corners?
Yes, they offer the widest variety of domestic and foreign parts. From oil to batteries, filters to lawnmowers and trimmer accessories, they have it all.
Wow, that's amazing. I heard they had the lowest prices in town too.
Absolutely. Plus, their customer service is top notch. They really know their stuff.
For all your automobile accessory needs, visit Precision Auto Parts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Call them today at 340-773-7276.
Precision Auto Parts. For one-stop shop. Quality auto parts at unbeatable prices. Precision Auto Parts. For a smoother ride.
Need construction work done? Call the team that's ready to build, repair, and transform your space. SAB Construction. From strong masonry work to smooth drywall and sheetrock installation, beautiful tile settings, and clean professional painting services, SAB Construction is here to meet all your needs. Reliable service, quality results, and affordable prices, and free estimates too. Call today, 340-205-6101 or email at sabconstruction43@gmail.com. That's SAB Construction, building island greatness, one project at a time.
The new 101.3 Roe WEVI, Frederiksted, Christiansted,
Sweet Center must night.
St. Croix.
Public safety has always been my top priority, and that includes keeping our roads and neighborhoods safe. As a former career law enforcement officer, I know firsthand the dangers caused by reckless driving and illegal, uninsured, and unregistered vehicles on our roadways. That's why I introduced and passed legislation to strengthen traffic penalties and hold dangerous drivers accountable. For more than 13 years, traffic fines had not been updated and were no longer serving as an effective deterrent. My legislation also established secure police lots to help move unauthorized vehicles from our streets, many of which are often linked to criminal activity. And these fines don't just improve safety, they also help fund youth crime prevention programs like the Police Athletic League and Star Steel Orchestra, while supporting law enforcement training, equipment, and operations. This is your Democratic Senator, Kenneth Kenny Gittens, asking for your continued support so I can keep fighting for safer roads, stronger communities, and a safer Virgin Islands for all of us.
Paid for by the supporters of Kenneth Kenny Gittens.
You're now tuned in to 101.3 Roe FM, broadcasting exclusively from the Auto and Truck Parts Studio. Can't see at night or blinded by the lights? Get new high beams today.
Hey, bring it. That's right. It's Friday and we having a grand time. Time flies when you're having fun, like I always like to say. Guys, we got candidate for delegate to Congress, Delia Smith, in here with us this morning. And I gotta say thank you, Reggie, again. But Lord of mercy, we are out of time. So Delia, tell me, it's been a pleasure having you here on the show with us. Thank you so much.
And the pleasure was mine. It's always so good to see you and sit down here with you on this cowbell and bush tea. It's a treat.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Next time I gotta get some that. That being said, which is your favorite?
As far as
tart.
Oh, got to be coconut. Oh, Jesus. There ain't nothing like a coconut. Sorry, is there a competition?
Hey, always. Always.
Coconut. Oh my God! I was a coconut girl.
Big Rays are definitely a coconut girl. Okay. So I give it that double for sure. But this is one showdown that we'll never get tired of for the culture and all things in between. So, you know. And that explains, can you come in with your madras and think I ain't gonna lie, that just lit up my whole day today. So
thank you.
I gotta say that. Absolutely. Yes. You know. So best wishes to you on your journey. You know, I'm loving to see the work and everything that you know that you're bringing to the table, all the talking points, the speaking points. We spoke about some important things today as well too.
Right.
Any last words for your listeners that you would like to leave them with?
It's my first and last, as far as just being able to communicate that, you know, you hear the term that elections have consequences.
Yes.
You know, and it's true. We're seeing it all around us in every facet of life, as we were just talking on the break. You know, we have so many areas that are broken. You know, there's the education, there's the cost of living, we have crime issues that, you know, you read about that press release from the VIPD. You know, there's healthcare. You were telling me off air some of the healthcare situations that you encountered that are just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we have WAPA, even though St. Croix doesn't feel it as badly as we do on St. Thomas and on St. John. But, you know, and then coupled on top of that, we're talking about monies that are were gifted and awarded to the Virgin Islands and now being in jeopardy because of the HUD suspension. So, you know, when we see these issues and we hear them all around us, and we know that they can only affect us if we don't continue to affect us adversely, if we don't find the level of leadership that can bring results.
Correct.
And
consistent results.
Consistent results. And the only way you can measure a person's abilities is to look at their past. And I submit to you that I have served you diligently. I've been committed to service. This is not about money for me, because, you know, there are a whole lot of other jobs that pay a lot more. This is about service. It's about service and knowing that the level of life you want. My daughter always used to use this term, be part of you got to be part of your own come up, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I want to be part of the come up of this territory. I couldn't engage politically before because of the type of job that I had, but I am free now. I'm free to serve you in yet another capacity, and just look at what I've done for you, and the sacrifices I've made and the commitment and diligence I've served you with. And I believe that when you've done that, you've considered those things, that you know that, you know, I've already been approved by a Washington Senate, you know, fully confirmed by a Senate that was majority Republicans. You know, I was hired by a Republican president. I've served under 3 different Republican administrations and 2 Democratic administrations. So I understand the mandate when it comes to leadership, that you work for the master that feeds you. And so my ability to get along and still thrive, regardless to the type of leadership that we have, is something that I've demonstrated over my last 30 years. And so I'll ask for your vote. You know, we have early voting that's ongoing until July 29th.
That's
the primary is on August 1st, next week, Saturday. And I humbly and respectfully ask your listening audience to give me your support.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. And it's been great having you here once again.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you. And I'm number 2 on your ballot for delegate to Congress, Delia Smith.
That's right.
Congress.
Where can your listeners hope to hear from you next?
Well, I'm on radio shows every week. I'll be back on St. Croix next week. I'll hopefully be on some radio stations in St. Thomas with Sheldon next week. I'll be with Mr. Roosevelt David. I'll be with Mr. Sinclair Williams. And, so I do have a full-packed week next week. And so, or you can just visit my website or find me on Facebook, Delia Smith for Congress. And I look forward to meeting you. Hopefully, I'll see some of you on the campaign trail.
That's right. Definitely. Guys, don't forget, early voting is still going on, so make sure you get out there, be there or be square. It's ain't no playtime. Playtime done. All right? So get on out there. Let's get this thing cracking.
Right.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, Delia, for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Nika. It's been a pleasure as always. And again, St. Croix, let's make the Virgin Islands the life that we deserve.
That's right.
And choosing a very strong and compassionate leader who is a fighter and has given you demonstrated proof of delivery of success. Give me your vote on August 1st or before number 2 on your ballot.
Hey. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for today. I don't want to leave before I remind you guys that tomorrow, Big Roe and the whole crew, we're going to be on the rock. We're doing our back to school giveaway. We got 500 book bags and supplies. That's tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to be on the rock and on the road, baby. That's right, Roe FM outside yet again. So come on down. You have an opportunity to win 5 iPhone 16 Pro Maxes or 5 MiFi devices, courtesy of One Communications as well. And we're going to be right there in Emancipation Gardens, 12 to 3. Okay, we got haircut certificates. We got free snow cones, face painting, popcorn, and more for the kids that are going to be receiving book bags. Come on out. Thank you to all our sponsors. We appreciate your support in making this back to school giveaway a success for our youth and our community, because we believe in community taking care of self. All right. That being said, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure that you are taking care of each other. Be nice to each other. Be safe. Be positive. All right. And thank you to our sponsors, My Love Ready Store and Smoke Shop, the Flaming Grill STX. Get you some mahi bites and fries today. That's on the special. Yes. And shout out to Liberty VI as well. As always, thank you. Be safe, and I'll see you later.
Midday vibes under the mango tree. It's way up with Angela E on Roe FM.
Lion face, where you say? Yeah. Income to them call the healing of the nation. Yeah. Smoking naturally come from creation. Oh yeah. So what we tell them say? Sean up alongside Caliber, run it, we are running, call up on it, when we tell it is legalized. Lion face, tell them legalized. Yo, listen, they rolling on the highway with a sleepy man. With a sleepy on me head. The girl by my side, that's to the officer, you know you